Hello, happy Saturday. It's the Saturday between Easter, as it were, between Good Friday and Easter Sunday, and we are in Wendover. At the moment we're in Wendover at my parents' today and tomorrow for my early birthday celebrations. I am demographic changingly old, so we are just currently negotiating with the ticket machine.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
Water, anybody or everybody? In Mumsy's chocolate house.
But you shouldn't have your done.
So that is Sally Turner Antiques, where we've just been before we had a hot chocolate here. We always come to Wendover and end up buying something in an antique shop. I think last time we were here was about a year ago, Christmas time, and got a bagatelle set. And this time we walked into their clearance sale and I found an amazing old wooden box. I will show you what's in it at a later date, but it costs £30. We're now just going for a Wendover walk.
So can you see a gold bunny? Where is it? Gold bunny. Where is he? Do you see a gold?
Yeah, a little baby one.
Oh, well done, Rose. Yeah.
Excellent chocolate hunting.
Let's put him in here.
Very good, sir.
So this is the box that I bought for £30. There's not a lot there to tell you what it is at the moment, but here we go. So this is what I got in the box for 30 quid. It is a very small 9.5mm cine projector with various film. There's more film in there. Let me just show you. If I stand this up, we have loads and loads of film. A lot of it is Disney, original 1930s Mickey Mouse things, a few 1940s British Pathé war propaganda films, and the box obviously, and some original instructions. This is film cement for repairing film, sticking it back together, and this is the ridiculous power connector, and it works, and that's what's most amazing. For 32. We're back on Chorleywood Common, where we were 4 months ago or so, Christmas time. Only it's later and lighter. But all the people we brought to show them Chorleywood Common are all asleep in various pushchairs. Happy Easter Monday. It's a lovely day. It's quite blue, and generally the best weather I've had in a while. So we're going out to Kew Gardens. It's ever such a nice day in the village. Makes you really appreciate living in Kew. Soft jazz coming from above Lloyd's Pharmacy. People meandering through on the way to the gardens. Most people lost, not knowing where the gardens are. If you ever come to Kew, right, the first thing is you need to come out of this side of the station. So this is the west side of the station, so it is on the northbound platform. And then you literally just come straight down here and walk straight down. That's how you get into the gardens.
No, but it's fine. There is a beautiful building there.
Kew's Friendly Rat. So we're just in the gardens, had a look at the wild garlic. The bluebells aren't out yet. This is their kilns. We're just wandering off to have a look at the kitchen gardens.
And you can taste so many different florals. Yeah. Absolutely superb.
So these are the kitchen gardens featured on BBC Two, Kew and the Plate. And to be fair, they got a lot of garden space, seeing as they were making like 3 menus a day and only 4 episodes. It does seem like a lot of food. The weather just keeps improving. Amazing. So what have we got here at this Q on the Plate garden? We have some garlic, lots of different types of garlic, and these are the potatoes you can't see yet, they've just been sown, and spinach plants just beginning to start to come up, and then I can't remember what these were. There was a thing about some vegetable that only gets attacked by a fly that doesn't fly higher than 60 centimetres above the ground, so you only need these really low nets. Very strange. And then we have cabbages and kale. So come and have a look if you're in Kew. So the other thing I should mention is that it's the 6th of April today, which means it is exactly 5 years since I started vlogging in Valencia, where we'll be in 5 weeks, just so you know. Yeah, so it's my 5-year vlogiversary. Time has flown, really has. It's been great fun, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So 5 years down, 55 years to go. So we're into year 6 of this nonsense, and what a lovely start. Incredible weather, just how really how I want it, to be honest. It's very hard to kind of put into words what it's been like pointing a camera at my face for 5 years. It's become normal, and therefore in some ways unremarkable, but the frustration of not having had my laptop for so many weeks has been made much worse by the fact that I vlog. Otherwise I probably would have coped with an iPad, but iMovie on the iPad is not great. So we're going to keep going. We're going to make the most of this weather. I am in a basement this week, but I'm not so busy at the moment, so I'll be able to nip out and about, see London in all its glory, and generally make the most of the fact that spring has arrived. It's a very beautiful day in central London. It's jacket free. I've just been down to the Swatch shop to get a new strap for my watch, which is all very painless and very good. They don't do contactless payment though, slightly annoying. Here's something for you. Do you particularly like the phrase, please touch your contactless card on the reader? Can you see anything wrong with that? What a beautiful day to start the morning. Blossoms are coming out. The sun is rather hazy. There's a slight dew on the ground. It's a perfect day to walk in basically. It's about 9 degrees. It'll be highs of 17 today. Yes. Yeah, so it might be the beginning of April, but the weather is much better than normal, which is excellent. Blossoms are out. And yeah, there's hardly a need to go on holiday really with the weather like this. But we are. In 5 weeks we're going to Spain, where the weather will be better than this. And yeah, before then, in a few days time in fact, it's my birthday, which is always an interesting time of year because I never want anything and everybody else gets slightly frustrated. So, but there we go. So, such is the problem with being in your 30s. Most of the things that you want are not purchasable in shops. So as well as being my birthday on Saturday, it is also the boat race, which is why the finish line place has been set up. What have you? I've done some embanking, probably to stop people falling in the water. This is the end of the university boat race, right there where that pillar is. And obviously it starts down in Putney. We've never ever been around at the weekend when the boat race is on. We've never been in Kew or even close. This will be the first. The very first year where that's true. Well, now whether we get to see any boat race is another matter altogether, but we're certainly going to try. So when you're up early in the morning and walking about, the best time is just before everybody else gets up. So it looks like the day's started, but there's no sounds. It's usually just before 8 o'clock. Then when 8 o'clock comes, all the runners appear, cyclists, people on their way to the station, and the silence is broken. So I've been sitting here all morning going through a couple of audio mixes I did for some Habitat adverts, trying to find a noise that the client doesn't like. They think they heard a bicycle bell. And I was thinking that's strange because the ambient noise I used didn't have any bicycles in. So I spent ages and ages sifting through all of the little audio elements one at a time, listening to them individually, and after a while I was like, there's no bike bell. So I went back, told them there's no bike bell. They came back and said, oh, there definitely is. It's at 14 seconds in. So I went back, did the same thing again, just checked that this wasn't something strange in the music. In the end, had to say, look, I can't hear it. I can hear like a brake squealing about 5 seconds later. And they're like, no, it's definitely there. Let me send you what we're listening to. And they sent over the audio. They're listening to a completely different thing. Like, literally a completely different mix of the advert. Totally different, with a really obvious bike bell that goes, Putching! So there we go. So what have we learned today? We have learned that it's easier to do this when everybody's in one room. And also, although the client is always right, the client is also sometimes an idiot.
Riddle piece of music and memorabilia, because not only do we have very few pieces of clothing from the 50s, the reason being that Elvis's manager, Colonel Parker, actually did a deal with RCA, Elvis's record label, and they cut up Elvis's clothing. They kind of collected a pile of clothing, and little swatches went onto album covers, and you could buy the greatest hits and get a swatch of Elvis's clothing. So that's why we don't have a lot of clothing from the 50s. This is one of the few things survived. I think this would have been hard to put in the shredder, and
it's very heavy.
It is heavy. It's got the rhinestone jewels.
It's a lovely evening in London. So I figured, rather than take the tube down to Clapham, I'd walk it. Now, incidentally, what you just saw was Rob holding Elvis's actual gold lame jacket. It had come from Graceland. It'll be on display at the O2 by the time this video's up, in fact. And yes, Elvis wore it on the front cover of his 50 Million Elvis Fans Can't Be Wrong album, and he also wore it a few times on stage in 56 in 1957. It's amazing, and it cost $10,000 to make, even back then. So and now it's basically priceless. That's why you have to wear gloves to touch it. London is really fantastic on a day like today. I kind of go through phases of loving London and hating it, but I'm back in the Samuel Pepys school of thought. If you're tired of London, you're tired of life. You just have to go a lot slower than everyone else and stop and observe. Watch and listen. That's how you enjoy London, not by running around. It's so much more enjoyable when your pace is reduced. It's not a fun place to be if you're in a hurry, that's for sure. Ribs. Full. Ribs. Full.
Ribs full. Hi.
Lots of ribs.
I hope I end up on hipsters taking photos of their food.com.
Yeah, Steve's Pinteresting his favourite ribs.
And I'm eating mine.
This
It's
is
interesting, I'm not a 35-year-old female.
well, you're most of those things.
Yeah. No.
So that is the cut.
It's a Thursday night rib fest in celebration of me being old.
No, it's a video, don't post.
You're such a bunch of idiots. It's totally
It's a photo.
yes, of course it is, Tom. It's definitely a photo. It's definitely. Yeah, well, I'm believing this.
you can't.
Good morning. The good weather has continued, so it's time for another nice walk in. So it's Friday. It's the last day of my 35th year alive on this planet, I should say. In fact,
It's one of the few times that I know my very precise age at the moment. I am 34 years, 363 days and 12 hours old. Tomorrow at 5:45 I turn 35, and yes, I leave this demographic for good. Very upsetting. It's not. I just don't care. There we go. It's been a very good week, actually. The nice weather, the work, seeing various people yesterday, seeing the whole Contraband Collective for some enormous ribs. I mean, oh my god, were they big. I feel full just thinking about them, in fact. One of the reasons I'm doing this walk. So yeah, it's been great fun. And today we start packing up the studios at USP to move them to Camden. So all in all, good fun at the moment. Yeah, very happy. Anyway, let's see what the morning brings. So as I mentioned a few days ago, it's also the Oxford and Cambridge boat race on Saturday, which I've never seen, which is what all the scaffolding and what have you along here is for. And we're really going to make an effort this year to go and see it. I bumped into Ant on the way in on the tube yesterday, and he said it's definitely worth seeing, and it's not too busy around Chiswick Bridge, which is the bridge I just crossed behind me, which is where the finish line is. So I'd really like to see that tomorrow afternoon. So hopefully we'll be able to make that happen, and it should be quite sunny tomorrow afternoon as well, although not quite as warm as today. So I'm quite looking forward to that. Seeing the build-up and the general festivities, and then the boathouse just down there is where they do the press conference afterwards, just on the other side of the bridge. And they've already got up the staging and the banners and whatnot. So they're all ready to go. They've just about finished repairing Chiswick Bridge. They've been doing it for 18 months, and they're still waiting for some of the cement to dry on the stairs. They haven't left this too late or anything. So in case you're watching this from another part of the world or another part of the United Kingdom and have no idea what this boat race is, it is a historical boat race between the rowing teams of Oxford and Cambridge University, which has been going on for a very long time. Am I right in saying we passed the 150th anniversary a couple of years ago, I think? If I'm wrong, please correct me. Yes, and they race down the river from Putney to Chiswick Bridge once a year in the spring, and everyone gets very excited and comes out and watches. And every now and again somebody jumps in the river for no apparent reason. Confusingly, both teams race in blue. They're different blues. Oxford wear a dark navy blue, and Cambridge wear a light blue, nearly a turquoise, almost a Tiffany blue, in fact. And you'll see lots of various blue things around. And yes, it takes place usually. It's always about the same time of year. It's kind of the actual weekend of the race. I think is dependent somewhat on tides and whatnot as well. So it should be quite fun. And I remember watching on the telly as a kid. A lot of famous rowers have come from one of these two university boat teams and gone on to win Olympic medals and what have you. Some of them have gone on to be very successful comedians. And yes, it's kind of a sort of fixture of the London calendar to a certain extent. So I've come over to Camden and see the new office. This is the Regent's Canal, which is literally next door, which is very nice. This is going to be very pleasant in the summer. Take a boat back to Little Venice. That's it for this week. That's it for being 34 generally. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week, where obviously I will be substantially older and wiser.